everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Yep, Casey here with my youngest niece, and then of course, most of my other niece are over out of sight there on the counter. Uh, you might have noticed this is not any sort of normal place for us today. That's not by choice. We went ahead and we got that rear motor servicing that we told you about on over the last since July when it was scheduled, and that seemed to have gone off smoothly. However, halfway to taking the car back to the house, the car shut down. It said rear motor disabled. Okay to continue. So we continued for a couple miles, and then the front motor disabled. Front motor disabled. Okay to continue. And then boom, boom. The rear motor tried to slam in, and the car said, "No, we're not launching today." And so it shut down. It said, "Pull over." It kicked everything out. Said there was ADAS failure, air conditioner failure. Like there was a Christmas tree. And if I knew how to share correctly from this phone, I would do it. Or if I had a tablet, I would kind of share it in. But we weren't intending for any of this to happen this way. So what ended up happening is that I'll I've got an X post and a Facebook post that show what happened as far as the codes and everything. And later on, I'll probably do another show with the news and commentary for the week because I was only missing Wednesday and Friday. Well, not Friday, Wednesday and Saturday because the car was ready Friday night at like 5:30, and the shop closed at similar. So yeah, we brought back their loaner car, switched into our car. The sales lady accidentally accused us of stealing electricity because she thought we were charging a personal car instead of just returning their car. And uh, we got everything moved over to our car and came over to visit my sister. And then on the way back to the house, it said no, no, no. And that was almost 150 miles from when we picked it up, based on the tracker apps like Teslafy and Tesla Scope, and Tessie. But I'm wondering if it was exactly 150 miles, and those didn't record the miles in service mode, because in service mode all that stuff is turned off, all the apps, right? So from there, we called roadside support. They say there's not a warrantable item to tow the car, so get it done yourself. Even though the first item to fail on that Christmas tree was the part they worked on. They worked on under warranty. I'm sorry, I'm leaning and twisting and stuff. I don't do the phone like this. But even though it's getting worse. Even though the motor, the rear motor, was what started this all off. The Cascade. They say it's not a warrantable item. There's not whatever codes they're looking for to make it count weren't there. And then the next step was call our insurance company, get a tow back to the house. They said we can do 62 miles, and you can flip us about $800. No, because then we'd have to get the car back from where it was back to service, and I think that might be out of the range of 400, 500 miles, whatever. So I looked on the FAQ for roadside, and it says breakdowns of covered items, an 8-year unlimited mile warranty on drive unit A and drive unit B, and the battery still remains. And they just did work on rear motor, so even if it was out of warranty and a customer pay, then that would have come with a new warranty of 12 months and I believe 12,000 miles. Don't quote me on that part, but it is 12 months. And so the day you pick it up isn't any of that time. So, I mean, it's not saying that the clock is not rolling, but to suggest that that picking it up from the warranty repair is not a warranty item for roadside assistance was just preposterous. I sent a bunch of messages into service, and we will see how that goes. From the codes, a good friend of ours used to work for Tesla, and he suspects that it could have been. They said they were going to flash the car to match the flash the motor to match the car, and he suspects that even if it said it was done, it might not have actually completed because one of the many codes repeated was a mobilizer, and so he suspects that maybe it thinks it was stolen. And I'm guessing he didn't say. Yeah, I asked him. He hasn't answered yet. I'm guessing that the reason it allowed it to work 150 miles might be because the crate motors don't have the same sort of immediate lockout you'd see on if somebody had actually stolen your motor and put it on another car, perhaps. And I can't really think of a reason why you need that many miles. I'm speculating that if there is a grace period, I'm suspecting that maybe it's a matter of complicated repairs, and then the technician wants to just kind of initialize everything at one time, or perhaps if it's going to shuttle back and forth between a body shop and a collision sort of situation. I can't say why it appeared to either delay at locking out or have a grace at locking out. And I'd asked him. I said, "Hey, would a 0% test drive, the battery was flat? Would that have allowed them to determine what they needed? Because yes, you don't need to do launches or anything, but the car it goes really into turtle mode with the dashes on both sides if it gets below zero, and it was definitely below zero. Hello, Barzan, how are you? I am frustrated with getting my car back to where it needs to be. We got the new motor, and that seemed to have gone fine, and then it decided to say nah and locked up, and so now we're waiting for service to open up, and I'm extra frustrated with the way that Elon ripped out the phones years ago. After that, they gave us chat and the messaging inside service, or in the app, which is fine, except that there's nobody manning that on the weekends. And here we are, let's start at 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. on a Saturday night to Sunday morning, and oh, got a new Tesla. No, I wish. No, it's sitting out here in her driveway. I've got it in extra high modes that it could get on the tow truck that we put it on. Thankfully, nobody answered except this one guy. He had a flatbed trailer, like the dealer trades, to move one car between dealerships, or Tesla would even use them to move them between stores. So he had the two seats up front, and then he had the three across the back. So my wife Moto and I, we were able to ride in the back, and the car was on the trailer, because if it had been a normal tow truck, there would not have been enough room for everybody. And he had just had an unfortunate experience himself. He in his personal car, he had a crash, and found himself paralyzed on one side of his body, below the chest. And so he came by with one of his employees and the truck, and they got us loaded up, got us over to my sister's house, and so now I'm waiting for Tesla to open back up. And then once they open back up, hopefully they see all the pictures and they can send a command to the car, send an update. Hey, I brought my mobile charger, and if it's too low to update, I might need to plug into your 110 till it goes green to update it. Just that. Yeah. Telling her which plug I needed. So it's in the yellow right now, but that hasn't typically stopped an update. But I know in the red it won't update, and on a supercharger it won't update. But I'm hoping that they can either send it over the air or dispatch a mobile technician, because there's no need to tow it if it's just a mismatch in components. Hopefully. But it seemed fine. It was driving great. The kilowatt meter still said the same number, so it's not like they put a standard motor into the P100 P100D. And I don't know why the front motor cut out. I don't know if it was a matter of when the rear motor went, it didn't go to sleep. It just dug in, because when you shift it into drive or reverse, you can get about a meter with heavy pedal, and then it starts to shudder and shake, and then the fans kick way up, like it's like you're trying to pull a fully loaded trailer, or if you're trying to jump a parking stop or something. And it's just like, I don't want to do this. You know how heavy I am? So we're going to see what happens. I'm hoping it is something as simple as just telling the motor, "Hey, you belong to this car," and calling it a day. We found that like all the rental offices were closed, uh, and the ones that weren't closed, like at the airports, they were mostly all out of cars. Except Hertz had like these large trucks for anywhere from 150 a day to 200 a day for a 14 passenger van. And then I found one that had manager special for a really low price. And then they also had, tried to upsell you with the it's not a bogus service. The damage waiver, or the rental car insurance, is real. And I had this is the company that runs this rental agency is the same one that I'd worked for uh, many years ago, a long time now. And I had two customers actually get that and use it, wash their hands, walk away, and one customer that didn't get it and also didn't have good enough personal insurance. Ooh, that was a bad situation, that one. But I do have enough personal insurance, and the credit card I'm going to use has rentals on it too, so I'll have layers to work with, and hopefully nothing happens. This agency is local, so I doubt that we'll be able to find any of the weird EVs that are available. And my sister, she was promised a Tesla on one of her trips, and they gave her a Bolt EV. For how many people were that day? Two people, but with luggage from the airport for 2 weeks. And the Bolt's a fine car, but it doesn't have ubiquitous charging like superchargers. Well, it does now once the adapters are available, but at the time it did not. And again, 2 weeks with two large ladies, not ladies large, but the suitcases were large, ladies suitcases for travel for 2 weeks, and it was a mess. But what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna go try and pick up that manager special rental car and get back to the house. And what I might do there is just do another live stream where we've got the topics and we go over the topics, or I'll figure out it's 3 hours from here or so. So we'll figure out what we're looking at time wise, and like food and sugar and all that. And then I've got topics except for Wednesday and um, while we were traveling on Saturday, Sunday. But I think it might be fun, and then it'll just be a little off schedule, and I'll do another update when we get the car fixed. I started the video, well, not started, but when we found out the issue with the rear drive units filling with coolant, we started a video. We had talked to a technician who explained everything and showed us how to do it. He showed us pictures of everything. So this will inform you what to do if your car has the rear drive unit, not the large rear drive unit. This is going to be from 2012 to probably till the end of the Raven cars. And so if you've got the performance drive unit in the rear, or if you've just got a rear wheel drive only Model S, then you'll have a large rear drive unit. And some of them have the situation where they will fill with coolant, and it's not supposed to be in there. So eventually stuff will corrode, and then you'll be out anywhere from $7,500 to $10,500 before labor. And why a range would be because if they can get you a used part, then it'll cost you less. Like, not really used. If they can get you a remanufactured part, it'll cost less. And if they have to get you a new one, you'll be paying for it. And it's back in the day when the Model S's were having the little bushing or shim go bad, they were able to get that done in like 2 hours. And it looks like they're still pretty quick at it. From the time they actually moved our car to the time it came out of the bay was I want to say they put it in at lunchtime and it was finished by 5:30. But they wanted 3 days to do it, and that's fine. I don't know if they were doing any prep work before that, or if it was just the line was that bad. But they're not doing it in 2 hours anymore. And so I was thinking we were done with the video, so I made it recorded a conclusion, and then it shut down on us. So what we're gonna do there is kind of keep updated with what's going on, why it went down, and then from there Then we'll finish an update and make that into a video on demand, just a regular YouTube video that's not live. And I guess maybe we can do a premiere on it so we can talk about it, ask questions, and or we can do a live after that. They've got some features we can use with YouTube, but we'll figure it out. Maybe you guys can ask any questions, and maybe I get the technician to be available on YouTube at the same time, so he can type any questions or answers, or if I can just kind of go like stand outside his bay while the video goes on and shout questions at him from you guys. We'll see what he's up to, what he's comfortable with, and more to come on that. And then for the discussion and the topics, I've got stuff in here, but I don't know how to flip back and forth without messing with the video. So rather than give you guys a poor experience, I want to apologize for being late today and it being a short show and putting you all off schedule. For those of you who aren't able to match up with whatever we end up doing, I will have the live chat replay turned on, and I will have stream replay turned on, so you can just click in that and watch at your pleasure. Leave the comments in there, and I'll answer back. And hopefully I see you guys there live. And with that, we'll catch you on the flip side. I'm going to be off to the airport to get the manager's special rental car. Thanks, guys. And again, sorry about the, this is not the platform I use. This is like, I mean, I use this platform. This is what we use for the Tesla Live show, but it's not the program I use for this. So that's why everything looks funny. And so the bumpers, I didn't update the bumpers because I didn't expect to be using it. Otherwise I would have brought a tablet, laptop, been ready for stuff. So I'm thinking I might start doing now, just having a go bag ready to go, so that we never get caught out again. But catch you later.